Hi folks, welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. I'm making this video here to help teach you how to simplify complex fractions. So the example we're going to look at, I've already written it down here. It's right here, and it's number 10 on page 123 in your college algebra text. And you notice I've written the same example down twice. That's because we're going to look at two different approaches to simplifying this guy. So approach number one. One thing we can do is we could just simplify the numerator, get this combined into one fraction, then simplify the denominator, get this combined into one fraction. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's going to be for this fraction bar. Now as I look at the numerator, this 1, you remember we could think of it as 1 over 1. So the three denominators that we're dealing with are 1, x, and x squared. The smallest common denominator that we can get out of this is the x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite each one of these terms with a denominator of x squared. Now, this guy, to turn this into an x squared, what we need to do is multiply by x squared, which is fine, but anything you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So if we multiply the top and bottom by x squared, this fraction will become x squared over x squared. Right, plus. Now let's deal with this guy. To turn this into an x squared, we would need to multiply by x. But again, if you do the bottom, you have to do the top. So this is going to be 3x over x squared. Over x squared there, okay. And then this one is fine just the way it is. So we'll just put minus 10. So here's the top with everything up here written with a denominator of x squared. All right, divide by, all right, that's this division bar. Now let's take a look at this guy. We're going to do the same thing. The denominators in the bottom part of this fraction, 1x and x squared. So least common denominator is the x squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to write every part of this with a denominator of x squared. Right? To turn this into an x squared, we have to do this. So that's going to give us x squared over x squared. To turn this one into an x squared, we've got to do this. This one already is an x squared, so this one's good. Okay, equals. Now what we'll do is we can combine this into one fraction. X squared plus 3x minus 10 over x squared. So there's the numerator written as one fraction. Divided by, now we got to do the denominator, combining these into one fraction. X squared plus 8x plus 15 over x squared. Okay, equals. And I'll go ahead and write this line out. X squared plus 3x minus 10 over x squared. Now, when you take a fraction and divide by another fraction, that is equivalent to multiplying by the reciprocal of this bottom fraction. So that's going to be x squared over x squared plus 8x plus 15. And you'll notice that these reduce, leaving us with x squared plus 3x minus 10 in the top, x squared plus 8x plus 15 in the bottom. Okay, so we've simplified this quite a bit. We can simplify it further because these will likely factor down. Noticing, let's see, we've got a trinomial, lead term 1. And this last term minus 10, so that top is going to factor into, let's see, x, okay, factors of 10 here, minus 10, we got 10 and 1, 5 and 2, and notice this is a 3 here, so I believe we're going to want x plus 5 and x minus 2 over, okay, another trinomial, lead term 1x squared, so x and x. Noticing everything's positive. Factors of 15 are 15 and 1, but also 5 and 3. Noticing we've got an 8x in the middle, so how about x plus 5, x plus 3? And you'll notice now we get x plus 5 in the top, x plus 5 in the bottom. So this thing is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 3. Probably saying that looks like a lot of work, and the answer is yes, it is. Sometimes simplifying these things down can be a lot of work. All right. Now the good news is we're going to talk about another method that tends to be a lot quicker and a lot easier. I need some room, so if you don't mind, I'm going to shrink this work down and move it off to the side. Probably not going to need that. All right, good enough. All right, now we'll try the same problem again. So method number 2 here that we're going to use is, I don't know, what I always call the fraction killer method. As I kind of glance the numerator here across, and remember the bottom here, this we can think of as 1 over 1. So this has a denominator 1, this one x, and this one x squared. Notice that if I multiplied this entire top by x squared, all the fractions would be gone. Same thing with the bottom. So what I'm going to do here is multiply the top by x squared and the bottom by x squared. Now anything you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. We can get away with this because x squared over x squared, this is equal to 1, and multiplying by 1 doesn't change the value of our fraction, so we're good. All right, so when we do this product right here, we're going to be left with just x squared. When we do this product, I'm going to write this off to the side. We're going to have 3 over x times x squared, and you'll notice we get 2 x's up top, 1 in the bottom, so that's going to be just 3x. When we do this product, we're going to have 10 over x squared times x squared, and you notice these are going to reduce, so plus 10. You'll notice very quickly I've got this thing all reduced down. There's no more fractions in the numerator. Bottom term, and again, you have to do everything. So this product is going to give us x squared. This product is going to give us 8x, because we're taking 8 times x squared and dividing by x. One of those x's will reduce. Third product here is going to give us just 15, because we're taking 15 times x squared and dividing by x squared. You'll notice we have gotten very quickly to this part. Oh, let's see. Right here. And I'm not going to go through the reduction. We've already factored and reduced. So this thing right here, this whole animal, has to equal x minus 2 over x plus 3. Now, you'll notice that this method was a lot quicker, a lot cleaner, a lot less work, and that's fine. But you know, anybody, I think, you know, if you're in an algebra class, you should be able to do either method. I would call this kind of the brute force method, and this animal here is a nice way to go as well. And I do think both methods are appropriate and need to be learned. So I hope that this video helps demonstrate how to simplify complex fractions. Have a great day.